Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aiman Fikrie Shafie. My metric number is DE190143. Today I'm going to present a poster about the application of magnetostatic, which is our group has chosen hard disk drive as our application. As we know that hard disk drive is a memory hardware of a computer that can store a large amount of data. So this type of memory hardware is a non-volatile type, which means the data is still secure whenever you turn off the computer. Okay, this hard disk drive use a simple magnetostatic principle, where the principle is used inside of the disk or magnetic platter inside the hard disk drive, which can be seen in the figure on the right side. So the data were recorded as a magnetic pattern, where it called as bit, and the data stored in the magnetic platter in term of binary. So inside the magnetic platter, it have grain, which is the grain can be either one or two possible state, which means 1 and 0. So to store data 1, the grain will be magnetized, and to store data 0, the grain will be demagnetized. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
I'm going to explain about working principle for hard drive appliance. My name is Muhamad Arif Azman. Hard drive use magnetism to store data in a layer of magnetic material beneath the spinning disk surface. The substance is not uniform and is made up of a dense collection of minute grains with a mean diameter of roughly 10 nanometer. By forming small magnetic domains in this material, the information is stored in the magnetic layer. Magnetic domains are portions of substance with the same magnetic moment direction. Electron spin is crucial to magnetism in general and the creation of magnetic moment in ferromagnetic material. The relation of the grain to the magnetic domain is not one-to-one. The magnetism within a grain is always in the same direction. However, in today's hard disk, numerous grains align their magnetic moments in the same direction to form magnetic domains that can be hundreds of nanometers in size. The information on a hard drive is stored in the magnetic domain pattern of magnetization. The magnetic layers are usually made up of metallic alloy. Metallic alloy is similar to a liquid solution in which several components have been dissolved. For example, when you dissolve salt in water or mix alcohol and water, the salt or alcohol dissolve uniformly throughout the water. That's how the concept of the metallic alloy for this. Two metals or a metal and another substance are blended uniformly and in the same way in an alloy. Steel, bronze, gold and silver in jewelry are all examples of alloy with traces of different metals added to strengthen them. For hard drive, the metallic alloy are typically COPTCr, cobalt, platinum, chromium, with trace of boron and tantalum added at times to improve the stability of magnetic domains.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Akif Rusyaidi bin Azim and my metric number is DE190184. And I'll be talking about the law that is related to the working principle of hard disk drive. The law that is closely related to the hard disk drive is the Biot-Savart's law. The Biot-Savart's law is stated that a magnetic field will be generated by a constant electric current. And as we can see from the methodology, the process of storing the data, the data will be converted from bits to electrical current, and it will flow into an electromagnet, change the direction of the metal grains, and store data, and convert it back to electrical current into bits. So it's stated here that the bit is converted into electrical current, and when there's electric current, there will be magnetic field. So this is really related to Biot-Savart's law.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Azim bin Muhamad Fauzi and my matric card number is DE190145. So today I would like to explain the methodology part for this project. So as we know that hard disk drive is one of the computer memory device that is used to store the user data in the form of bit, which is 1 or 0. And in this methodology I will explain in details on how the hard disk drive are used to store the data and interpret it for the user. So as we know that hard disk drive use a concept of magnetism in storing the user data. And then there are two methods in storing data, which is the perpendicular magnetic recording or the longitudinal magnetic recording. These two methods is different because of the direction of the arrow on the magnetic platter. So we talk about the magnetic platter. Magnetic platter is there are disks that consist of magnetic regions. For the modern hard disk drive, there are around 600 GB per square inch of magnetic regions on the surface of the magnetic platter to store the data. So this magnetic platter is combined with an actuator that consists of read and write head on it. So read head are used to allocate the magnetic pattern that formed by the write head. For the write head, it creates a magnetic pattern along the magnetic platter. Therefore, the read can allocate the data and interpret it for the user. Okay, next I will explain about the process of read and write data in the form of flowchart. Okay, the first one, it retrieves the data from the computer and then it converts bits into an electrical current. So the electrical current will flow into an electromagnet and it will demagnetize or magnetize. So it will change the direction of the metal grains. If the electrical current is magnetized, it will become 1, and if the electrical current is demagnetized, it will become 0. Okay, and then this is a form of write process, and then it will store the data on the magnetic platter. So if it needs to read the data, the actuator head will allocate the data and then convert electrical current on the magnetic platter and then convert it into bits in the form of bits, which is 1 or 0, for the computer to use it. Then finally I will show you two figures which consists of disk structure and methods of recording data. For the disk structure, we can see there are an assembly arm that are used to hold an actuator that consists of read and write head. These are used to allocate and write the data on the magnetic platter. So in the hard disk drive, it consists of a few layers of spinning disk or magnetic platter, which means that it can store more data on it. Next figure is about the methods of recording data, which means that there are two methods, and the left side is about the longitudinal and the right side is about the perpendicular of magnetic recording. And the modern one is we use the perpendicular magnetic recording, and as we can observe these two methods, the difference is about the direction of the arrow at the recording layer. And the reason why we use the perpendicular, because it can prevent any data loss in the future when the storage is almost full, or because the data inside it is packed, it will prevent the data loss better than the longitudinal. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, hard disk drive is a storage component that is mainly used in computer devices. It uses magnetostatic principle to store their data. Hence, it shows that magnetostatic principle has a lot of applications in our daily lives. A better understanding in magnetostatic principle can enhance our future inventions to help our everyday life. That is all from our group. Thank you.